Angola's state oil company.
The vast majority of Angola's revenue comes from oil, more than 90% in fact. Some people are asking serious questions as to where the money has gone.
Angola's GDP has grown by several 100% in the last decade as the hangover from long wars turned into a hunger for profits. But oil deals are shrouded by confidentiality agreements. It's almost impossible to gauge how much money flows into Sonangol, which is both concession grantor and regulator of the industry.
How much money does Angola make from its oil?
I would say it's a huge amount. 1.75 million barrels a day, which, of course, if we multiply, at the end of the year, we make billions.
The question is, some people have asked is, where's all that money going? People don't quite understand the flow of money because your books are effectively kept closed.
You visited Angola, you've been able to see a little bit of what Angola is today, and you can see where the money goes.
A shiny new boardwalk in Luanda, luxury developments, and an influx of Portuguese expats are all signs of oil wealth. But most Angolans live on less than $2 a day. Few can afford housing, and even in Luanda, basic necessities like water and electricity are often lacking. Activists like Elias Isaac says the much vaunted oil wealth bypasses ordinary Angolans.
We don't see the money that is being generated from oil having direct impact on people's livelihoods. Angola makes a lot of money out of oil. There is no doubt about this. Angola is one of the few countries that can really pay its national budget without any donor funding, which is great. But where this money goes, that's the biggest issue,
Human Rights Watch contends that tens of billions of dollars of oil money skipped the central bank entirely and disappeared. The IMF says Sonangol spends billions off the books. Oil revenues have created an enormous slush fund for the country's elite, says Isaac.
Is oil money being stolen?
To say that it's not being stolen would not be true to the situation. Because if the oil money was not being stolen, we could have better social services in this country.
So where is the money going?
Someone is taking it.
So who is taking it?
I don't know. We have to find out.
One of the more pointed criticisms of Sonangol by Human Rights Watch, particularly, and Global Witness, is that Sonangol acts as a way to funnel money from the oil revenues to the political elite. What is your response to that?
I'm not the right person to be asked this, but I would say...
on the board of
yes,
Sonangol.
I'm on the board of Sonangol, but I can assure to you that most of our revenues are used to the wealth of our country and our people.
Most, but not all.
I would say all, or depending on how do you interpret it, the way I'm saying, because what is our role? We have a production revenue. We put the production revenues on the hands of the Ministry of Finance.
So you say once the money leaves Sonangol, it's out of your hands?
Yeah, I think it's on the hands, and it's the way it should be, goes to the hands of the government.
The Angolan government denies corruption in the oil sector, and recently it announced a $5 billion sovereign wealth fund, a move welcomed by lenders for its transparency. It pledges to funnel millions into social development and infrastructure. It's all possible because of offshore developments like Paz-Flor, where technological advancements have made deepwater finds highly profitable. And Angola's offshore oil reserves are far from fully tapped.
Oil companies will soon be opening up new oil fields off Angola, and the country hopes to become the largest producer of crude in Africa. But with a history of corruption and problems with transparency, the biggest challenge will be that the profits from this filter down to ordinary Angolans.
Until then, ordinary Angolans say that only a tiny sliver of elites will truly benefit from Angola's oil.